Here's a quick rundown of today's top stories, Friday, March 7th. More junk food names are discovered as beneficiaries of OVP confidential funds. More alleged individuals with names that suspiciously sound like junk food names and cell phone brands have received confidential funds from the Office of the Vice President, based on further diggings by the House of Representatives. House Deputy Majority Leader and La Union 1st District Representative Paulo Ortega on Thursday, March 6th, revealed new details from the annexes of the impeachment complaint submitted against Vice President Sara Duterte. It seemed the infamous Mary Grace Piatos, a supposed recipient of the secret fund whose name was a combination of local cafe Mary Grace and potato chips brand Piatos, was not the only suspicious name on the records, as there were also a Pia Piatos Lim and a Renan Piatos, who received confidential funds, as well as Xiaomi Ocho, a name that sounds awfully close to cell phone brand Xiaomi. Leni Robredo rallies Ilonggos' support for senatorial candidates Kiko and Bam. In Iloilo, in one of the only 15 provinces where she won against President Marcos in the two-person race to the presidency in 2022, former Vice President Leni Robredo called on Ilonggos to rally for the Senate comeback bids of former Senators Bam Aquino and Kiko-Bam. It seemed to be a bittersweet moment for Robredo as she addressed the crowd that gathered for the volunteer campaign kickoff rally of Aquino and Pangilinan on Thursday night, March 6th, at the Iloilo Sports Complex. Although her supporters were admittedly heartbroken because of her 2022 loss, the former vice president remarked on the strength of their conviction to campaign again. The government should assist Filipinos at risk of deportation from U.S., according to Senator Hontiveros. Senator Risa Hontiveros on Friday, March 7th, called on the government to assist Filipinos who are at risk of being deported by the United States government following the Trump administration's crackdown on immigrants. Hontiveros made the call following a meeting with leaders of the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, who shared the plight of Filipinos at risk of being forcibly removed from the U.S. Hontiveros reminded that the Philippine government has an obligation to protect all Filipino nationals, wherever they are in the world. Newly promoted PCG Auxiliary official Martin Romualdez says the Philippines will not allow itself to be defeated in its own territory. House Speaker Martin Romualdez issued some fighting words after he was promoted to tie rank of an auxiliary vice admiral of the Philippine Coast Guard on Thursday afternoon, March 6th. Romualdez told his PCG audience at the Manila Golf and Country Club in Makati City that the Philippines won't let itself become deprived in its own sea, and that it won't lose in its own territory. The ceremony was attended by PCG officials led by Admiral Ronnie Gavan and Vice Admiral Edgar Ibanez. A weak Pope Francis thanks people for their prayers from the bottom of his heart in an audio message. A weak and breathless Pope Francis thanked people for their prayers for his recovery in a remarkable audio message broadcast on Thursday, the first public sign of life from the 88-year-old Pope since he was hospitalized 3 weeks ago with double pneumonia. Francis's feeble voice, discernible through his labored breaths and in his native Spanish, was recorded on Thursday from the hospital and broadcast to the faithful in St. Peter's Square, who had gathered for the nightly recitation of the Rosary Prayer. For anyone used to hearing Francis's voice, which is often so soft it sounds like a whisper, the audio was an emotional punch to the gut that hammered home just how sick he is. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to the Manila Bulletin Daily Rundown.